Hey, this is Jeff Wick, editor of the Fayette County Record newspaper here in LaGrange. Hot off the presses, we got the first copy of the new edition of the Fayette County Record, and we are joined by a lot of special guests this morning. Actually, as always, H.H. Howes and Andy Balin are here, but we've got Danella Dobslov-Chernishek, owner and founder of Petit Gourmet Shoppe here in downtown LaGrange, her all-star chef, Mike Morphew, a world-renowned chef, Mike Morphew, and behind us, we've got the kids in the kitchen class under the direction of Coy Heinrich. Hey, what are y'all cooking this morning?
Everything bite-sized.
Everything bite-sized.
Pizzas and cheese sticks, all kinds of stuff like that.
Awesome, awesome. Well, let me present y'all with the first copy of the Fayette County Record, just back from the printers this morning. Why don't we chat a little bit about the headlines with Danella and Chef Mike, and then we'll go and chat with some of the kids about what they're cooking. Andy, you want to talk a little bit about what folks can find in this new copy of the record?
Big news today is that the LaGrange, the Fayette County Disaster Recovery Team is looking for a new executive director. Kenny Couch, who's held that position basically since the organization got started, left the group earlier this week, and there's some we got some interesting things to say about the ongoing housing developments up in the north side of town and the future of the disaster recovery team, so you can read about that on the front page. Also, there was an engine fire, burned up a Jeep Cherokee. This is an especially sad story to me because I have a car just like this. And I talked to the owner, and he said that the power steering line busted when he was going down the road and started leaking on the exhaust manifold and caught the car on fire.
No great loss, though, right?
Oh, come on, Macho. It's a classic car. Man in Schulenburg ran from the police this week, and Sergeant Hanks over there tried shooting him with a taser to stop him, and the man pulled the taser wires off and was able to get away, so they're still looking for him. If anybody knows the whereabouts of Roosevelt Jarman, give a call to the Schulenburg Police Department. Also, interesting little story down here. Some folks woke up earlier this week to find some beer bottles sticking out of their gas tanks. Doesn't appear to be any damage. It was police believe it was perhaps some juveniles with a little bit too much time on their hands. But you always want to be on the lookout for those kind of things. And then there's some break-ins over at a hotel in Schulenburg. Nothing got stolen, but some people got their windows busted out, unfortunately. What else we got in the paper, Poncho?
Oh, let's see. I went over and watched the Mexico-Brazil World Cup match at my office, yes, with some gentlemen. And I was hoping maybe Mexico would win, but they didn't. But it was kind of an interesting experience. And then there's a little piece I did about sand, dust.
From Africa, from
The
the Sahara.
Saharan dust.
Are you aware of that?
I knew about it, yeah.
It was all over my car,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Anyway.
The Fayette County Record covering the world, from the World Cup to the Saharan dust.
That's right, yeah.
To the tops of mountains in Colorado. You'll have to read all about it.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, and lots of coverage of the July 4th events in today's paper, lots of photos and things like that. Hope everybody had a safe and happy 4th of July. But, looks like something just came out of the oven. Why don't we come over here and, hey guys, that smells pretty good. Tell us about, the things y'all have been working on this morning.
We've been working on mini pizzas,
Some cheese sticks.
and pudding, dirt pudding.
Right now they're doing a couple of more pizzas, so they're spreading their sauce on, and they're going to do the cheese and then their pepperonis. So y'all can go ahead and get started on that. Show them what y'all been doing.
And hopefully there'll be one for our guests to try today.
Possibly.
Oh, y'all make some extra for us?
Oh,
All
that'd be nice.
Got a plate? So cute. I'll just get one.
Yeah, Corey, talk a little bit about the whole Kids in the Kitchen program, and if people are watching and want to get their kids involved, what they need to do.
So we do hold Kids in the Kitchen classes about 3 days a week, usually Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. 2 classes a day. I split up the age groups, 5 to 8-year-olds and then 9 to 12-year-olds. And then we do pretty much this. I let them get a little hands-on, and we learn about things, and usually lasts about an hour and a half. $10 a kid. and you can just call to sign up. We do pre-registration so that we can buy enough ingredients for everybody. Yeah, this is what they do, and they seem to have fun, so we'll keep doing it as long as they're coming.
Do any of y'all kiddos go home and then cook for your parents some of the stuff you learn here? Yeah? That's awesome.
It's great, isn't it?
Well, Chef Morphew is here, and you do the adult cooking class.
That's correct, yeah. Yeah.
And you were telling me that they've been quite successful.
Yeah, they built up over the years, and ultimately, you know, classes are getting booked up well in advance. We've already got my next class, which is the end of this month, is a Taste of Italy. Because at the moment I'm doing a tour of Europe, so every month is a different country, so you get different flavours, textures, and so on, and see different cooking techniques. Taste of Italy, the Monday night's filled up with 24 people. When that fills up, we offer it on a Sunday lunchtime, the same menu. That fills up with 22 people. Classes as far as like September are already filling up, and about 5 or 6 times a year I do a special gourmet night, which basically is limited to 12 people, and I take all the food to another level. So I'm working with lobsters and filet mignon, and it's usually a 5 or 6 course meal with wine. And this is set up just like a restaurant. We have white tablecloths, wine, you know, nice wine glass, and people just eat, watch me cook, ask questions, drink wine, and enjoy themselves.
And it's candlelight,
Yeah.
so it's a special event.
Yeah.
Well, I usually drink a whole bottle of wine at a meal like that, so would you come out on that deal?
Yeah, that'd be fine with me. That's if you can get up afterwards and walk out.
Donella, you know, this is such a gift, this store that you brought to downtown LaGrange. Just talk about the, you know, how this all came about, a world-class gourmet, you know, cooking store in a tiny town like this.
Well, it's sort of like after I took early retirement as a county extension agent, which is what we were called back then, so it's dating me. They've changed titles, I think now maybe 4 times. But I always enjoyed demonstrating, showing, and telling the latest in the field of whatever we were doing. And of course my expertise was more into cooking and the levels of food preparation, and I always wanted to see what was the newest, latest, greatest thing out there. Well, boy, did I get discouraged, because I would start going to the Williams-Sonomas, the Sur La Tables, all of the nice cooking stores, only to find, where was it? I would see it in a magazine, or I would see it in an international magazine, but I couldn't find it here in the U.S. So I just decided, well, I'll take my bank stock, put it up for Hawk, which we have, thank goodness, thanks for our banks, and open my own little shop. And so it's been really rewarding. I have customers from all over the world, as we know, coming in and thanking us for having this and having such a wide variety of things.
And you mentioned bank stock. We want to mention that NBT Bank is underwriting this video today, so we want to always thank them for their generous support of local businesses. They just do a tremendous job.
Thank you.
You know, we were kind of joking earlier about you covering the world in your stories in the Fayette County Record, but really the world comes here to La Petite. Y'all get shoppers from all around, right? Anybody? Just talk about some of the interesting shoppers y'all have had recently.
Well, several years ago, and you sports guys will know all about this, it just kind of goes over my head. There was some international auto thing in Austin. Well, a young family came in the store, and I had gone to market in Chicago at the Housewares Show, and I met a gentleman by the name of Mr. LaGrange, and he was from LaGrange, France.
Wow.
And of course he said LaGrange. And I told him, I said, gee, I need to put your appliances in my store, because showing him my name tag and being from LaGrange, Texas. Well, he was all excited about it, only to find out that he would not sell to me because I was just one store. He went to Williams-Sonoma and started selling to them. Well, that particular year, in walks this young couple, a family, and they are from LaGrange, France. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, how unique. So I took their picture, and come to find out, they were the grandson and his family of this gentleman. So when I went back to Chicago to the Housewares show the next year, then I showed the picture to the gentleman, and he looked at me and he said, where did you get this picture? That's my grandson and his family. And I said, well, you didn't take a chance on me, but your grandson and his family found me. So let's see if we can make a deal. And now we do have appliances
Wow,
from the Grange brand.
We also have people from, often they have groups from all over the world visiting the Quilt Museum, and they all come in here. So we've had Australian people, we've had from Japan, and very often, if they know ahead of time, those tours will book what we call a lunch and learn here, where I do a simplified, like 3-course lunch for a group of people, and that happens at least maybe 10 or 12 times a year or more. Yeah.
And you were telling me your cooking classes are attracting people from all around the state.
Yeah, oh yes, absolutely. Yeah. A lot of people come over, if they're traveling a distance, then they'll come over, book a bed and breakfast here in town, which is great for the towns, bringing more business in, and then they'll do the class, drink as much wine as they want, and just walk back to their bed and breakfast. And it's great.
It's terrific.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Were y'all kidding about making enough for us to try, or?
Sure, yeah. If y'all want to try one.
I think, guys.
I think it's cool enough where y'all can
Yeah,
have
I think
it.
it's cooled down enough to try one of these. I get one of these with some pepperoni on it.
Oh, y'all guys did a great job. This tastes pretty good.
Little chefs in the making.
Very nice. I think I might put some of the pizza places out of business.
Wait, can you get them some napkins?
So what's the funnest part of cooking? What do you like most about it?
Eating.
Thanks, Coy.
Cooking probably is the funnest to do. And after we're done cooking, we get to eat it. And I like my own food that I make.
What's the best thing you've ever made?
Probably a chocolate lava cake.
Ooh, did you make that here in class?
No, I actually made it at my house. And once it was done, it was actually chocolate and caramel coming out of the can.
Anybody else cooked anything they want to talk about? What have you made?
The one time we were making a chocolate cake for my dad.
When you made it? Wow.
My mom and me make this good pudding.
What would y'all tell other kids about why they should sign up for one of these classes?
Because it's fun. Because it's the best food ever. You get to meet friends, and you get to help cook with them.
Well, you got your own apron there, huh? Pokemon. Well, before we sign off, why don't we stroll around and just give everybody a visual of just how massive this store is. If you've not been here, you got to come to Lofty. The official address and hours of operation.
226 West Colorado Street, and we're open 7 days a week. Monday through Fridays is 10 till 6, and then Saturday is 10 to 5, and Sunday 12:30 to 4:30.
Before we move on, Claudia, I heard that you made some pretty special cookies and even a cake on it to order, right?
I do a little amateur work with cookies and cakes to order for locals around the Grange and stuff like that. Not too big, but a little bit.
3 days of all of this.
Oh, right. And Danella, yeah, tell folks about the birthday bash you've got coming up.
Every year, as we all remember, August the 16th, 17th, and 18th are the 3 days of our annual birthday bash. So we will have 3 days of in-store demonstrations. Our company vendors will be here, They're actually going to be showing and telling how to use all of the new appliances, the new gadgets, the new cookware that we have coming in. So it should be another fun year again this year.
Awesome, and you can always find information about your sales and events in the Fayette County Record.
That's correct.
So Coy and kiddos, hey, thank y'all so much for letting us interrupt your class, and those pizzas were awesome. So yeah, just as we walk to the door, we could look at some of the more. It's just amazing some of the things you can find here. Chef Mike, you want to talk a little bit more about some of the things people can, just the wide array of things that can be found here.
I mean, some people say there's more product here than the big stores in Austin. And I think they're right. There's packed so much into this small area. But ultimately, obviously, everything from specialist coffees. I don't think I've ever seen a bigger selection of specialist teas before. Everything from health-giving teas to ordinary teas. Every type of glass, wine accessory, anything to do with wine.
Get in on one and find out how to book.
Huge array of pots, pans. There's a wall up back there which has thousands and thousands of different cooking gadgets, whisk, ladles, spoons, you name it, everything you can think of. Excellent arrangement of assortment of different cookware, from American made right through all the different types. There's a sort of baking and pastry section over there which covers everything from food colours and different types of cooking utensils for pastries, cutters, you name it.
And there's often free samples.
There's always free samples.
Always free samples.
Always free samples in the store. And
I understand you book your cooking classes on this website, the La Petite website?
yeah, if you go on the website and click on classes, you'll see all the menus, I say, up until 2019, September 2019. If there's a class that you fancy and you think, I want to do that one, my only advice would be to either call and book it, email and book it, and then either come in and pay or send a check in, because you don't have that place secured until the money is there, because what's happened in the past is we've kept places open for people saying, we want a table of 6, and then they've just not shown up. So, and 6 people on the waiting list have been disappointed. So we don't actually reserve that seat until you've actually paid, and then once you've paid, that's your seat for the evening.
And what is that website?
It's what's the Petit Gourmet website, Danella?
It's
W-
Petit Gourmet Shoppe, and its shop is shoppe.com.
All right.
Well, Donella, Chef Mike, thank y'all so much for having us.
Been a pleasure.
And they also have a Facebook page that we're linking to on this video, and you can always find us at FayetteCountyRecord.com or look for us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks for reading the paper.